Hi guys, for video start. Today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people might get a bit mad. Well, maybe not. I basically decided to go against what I said in my stepping stones video, and I basically decided to just talk about a movie that I just sort of come out of theaters for. Yeah, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'm back after not being available for a few days. And I also just want to mention to someone who I recently banned from giving video suggestions for giving a lot of inappropriate ones. He commented on that short saying, "I'm giving you content ideas or whatever." Look, giving me content ideas is not the issue. If anything, giving me that is the opposite of the issue. The issue is that you're giving me content ideas that are inappropriate to talk about. But I don't know. Anyway, enjoy the video. Hi guys. I'm back after over a week. I'm sorry it took longer. I was away in Cornwall. But it was pretty tiring. But yeah, I'm back. And today I might sound a little bit more tired. That's simply just because I've just had I've had a long week. But yeah, today I basically decided to talk about probably the most hyped movie of 2023, which is Five Nights at Freddy's. Yep. The movie movie's been out for 2 days, and I've officially seen the movie with my cousin, who's a pretty big fan of FNAF. Now I do want to quickly just note quickly because I think this is going. I think what I'm going to quickly notice simply because I feel like where you are as a Five Nights at Freddy's fan is really going to kind of like determine whether or not you're gonna like this movie or not. So I have knowledge of the games, but I've never really played them before. So I haven't exactly. I've only really seen like gameplays of like the first 4 games. I've never really had the interest to see any of them beyond Five Nights at Freddy's 4. But yeah. So yeah. Now walking into it, all I was really expecting was at least kind of like a faithful adaptation of FNAF. Well, maybe not faithful, but at least a good adaptation, which could probably at least be like in conversation for best video game adaptations we've had. I mean, to be honest, 2023. I mean, maybe like before 2023, but especially in 2023. It's definitely been a really good like uprise for video game adaptations. Like we had Last of Us, which I felt was a bit overrated, but it seems like it's one of the best, if not the best, video game adaptation that people have loved or whatever. Like what else? Gran Turismo, the most recent Mortal Kombat. Yeah, the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. Yeah, it's Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, it's going pretty good. Yeah, and I think FNAF actually, this could actually be in conversation for maybe best video game adaptations. I don't know, but yeah. I am just gonna quickly now because I want mainly talk about what I liked. I'm probably going to mainly talk about what I liked and disliked first. Well, dislike and then liked, and then talk about a few things I was like mixed on, but I'd love to see your thoughts in with the comment section. Now, I'm just going to quickly get the two issues I had with the movie out. First off, I felt like there was a bit of a tonal imbalance. I don't know. I felt like there were a few scenes, especially as predominantly one where I felt like it kind of like switched tones with like no kind of like transition into that tone. And also, I'm not gonna get specific on this because I want to keep this like spoiler free. And if you are gonna be talking about a movie, please keep a comment spoiler free. But but there were a few liberties that I felt there was a lot of things with the source material that they changed. So yeah, which I could definitely tell could possibly piss a few fans off. But yeah, I don't know. What I liked about the movie, first off, even if you don't think this is like a great movie or at least an okay, I feel like this was a near perfect recreation of Five Nights at Freddy's. The animatronics and even like the sets and such look so similar to the game. And watching the movie, there's even like a poster from that had the three animatronics in. You probably know what I'm talking about if you played the game, or at least seen it. And it looks so good. Honestly, I couldn't believe how much detail had gone into this. And to be honest, I feel like I liked how they kind of like actually managed to. We'll probably talk a little bit more on it, but I like how they managed to have like an actual narrative to a game that didn't really have much of a narrative in the first game. They had a little bit more lore to this movie, and I'll also say I felt like the acting was pretty solid, especially coming from the two from Matthew Lillard as William Afton and Josh Hutcherson as Mike Schmidt. I thought that all of it was good. And now I'm just gonna quickly touch on a few things that I was kind of mixed on. And if you've seen the movie, I would love to see what you thought for these mixed aspects. And like I said, please keep the comment section spoiler free of this movie. I don't want people who haven't seen the movie to be spoiled or anything. But first off, I feel like this movie is one of those video game adaptations that's purely made for the fans. And I like that they actually, considering that most video game adaptations mainly put fans of that video game in second and don't think about them or whatever, I do like that this video game actually had the fans in mind. However, I do think the main issue with that is that I feel like the best video game adaptation we're going to get is one that actually has a way of making it accessible to both audiences, to where if you're a fan of the game you can enjoy it more, but if you're a newcomer you can still pick up on the plot or whatever and still enjoy it. So what I liked about it, they actually had for fans in mind. I do know that there's going to be a lot of people who don't like this, who haven't seen the source material, who are probably going to have a lot of things to say about this movie that they didn't like, and I don't really think that anyone could really defend that, because it's like just two different perspectives. I'll pronounce that word incredibly wrong. And also, I feel like the movie was a bit light on story. Now, I do understand that there's not really any story in the first game, so I do think that they did at least a good enough job with story. But it's still pretty light on story. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Overall, yeah. I thought it was a pretty good video game adaptation. I'm going to give it I'll probably say give it 8 out of 10. If you're a fan of FNAF, I definitely recommend checking it out in theaters. If you're not a fan or don't really know anything about the games, I'd probably recommend skipping it or waiting until streaming to at least check it out, whatever. But yeah, pretty good adaptation, and I'm looking forward to whether they have to introduce into the further FNAF universe of this movie. And and I'm also planning on doing a spoiler talk in another video. So if you're interested in me talking about a few spoilers, like spoilerish discussions, then I'd be happy. I'm going to be doing a video talking about some things that I can't really talk about for spoiler-free things. So for that video, you can put spoilers down in the comments, because I will be giving a spoiler warning in my title. So yeah, if you haven't seen it and you're a fan of FNAF, definitely go check it out. You'll probably be satisfied.